Hey guys, welcome back to my tiny 12 by 12. We are talking about mulch. Mulch here, mulch there, mulch everywhere. All right, so I decided that the city was providing free mulch for us here at the garden, and so I just decided to go ahead and use the city mulch. And basically, every city, or most cities, anyways, offer free mulch services. So you can like Google it or ask your city, where to purchase or to receive yours. Now, I want to talk about some specifications with city mulch because it has a bad rep, but it could be very beneficial. The main reason I chose to do this was not only for the affordability factor of it, but also because all the trees that these wood chips are from the city in which my garden is. So that tells me that the trees are thriving here. These trees are local, so they're adapted to our environment here. And so it was important that I put something like that back into my garden. I like the fact that they are wood chips, so they're all kind of blends. They are larger than I would prefer, but over time they will break down. I could have put cardboard underneath here, and I think over time I will start to bring cardboard and move some back, put cardboard, move some back and put cardboard, but I think the fact that I laid them on top of sand and dirt should do me just fine. Now, there are some cons with receiving this. Like, for example, I noticed there's a lot of plastic pieces in here and things that just aren't wood at all. So as I pulled up each scoop, I just picked out the pieces that were not wood and put them in the trash can like this. It's really not a big deal if you're doing scoop by scoop, but if you're doing this on a larger scale, then that may be something to consider. And while you're weeding your garden, you can just pull out those plastic pieces. Now, this has been a game changer for my containers. For my milk crates. I absolutely see a difference with my milk crates. They are fully thriving now that I have insulated the sides with cardboard and mulched the top. Now it's basically like any other container, and I'm so happy I did it. If you don't put cardboard on the sides to insulate your containers, they will dry out. So for this for me, this is working great now. All of my milk crates are fully insulated on the sides, and I will just keep putting cardboard in there. They slide in very easily, and mulch on top. Now, another option is grass clippings. One of the members here has grass clippings, and this is a great alternative. If you allow your grass to dry out, it does form as a mulching type. It is great. It's another form of organic matter. So after this dies back, he could come back this fall and just put fresh compost on top of that. And this is basically feeding your soil. Two of the things that you want to be mindful of when using grass is that it does mat. So you do want to come in occasionally and give it like a tug and pull, kind of like massaging the grass so that it doesn't mat. Because if it does mat and you put your water on top, the water kind of just rolls off, especially with our soil here. So just like this, you kind of want to play with it a little bit and then pat it back down to make sure it's breaking up and it has air circulation. Another thing you want to keep in mind when using grass is that sometimes people do use herbicides in their grass, and obviously the herbicides will leach into your garden. So that's something to be mindful of too. But if those are not issues that you're concerned about, I highly recommend using grass clippings. It is a top rated choice for your garden beds. Another option is using bark, and this is a very also a sustainable option for you guys, which is very beneficial for your local ecosystem and environment. You can get bark in different sizes, and this right here in particular is like a shredded bark, so it does maintain a lot of moisture inside of your soil, but it also absorbs a lot of moisture. So there's a pro and con there. It does break down a little bit slower, but that's okay because you won't have to apply it as frequently as, let's say, me with the mulch, that the wood chip mulch. But this is definitely a great option. It's easy to find and it'll do your garden great justice if you live in a hotter climate like we do, which is California Zone 9B. So another option you guys have is straw. It is extremely aesthetic, meaning it looks good, okay? It just looks good, hands down. This is one of the best mulches you can use because of the beauty it gives your garden overall. It's also sustainable. It comes at a really nice price point. The only thing you want to consider when picking your mulch is that they do have seed. A lot of them have seed, so you will get like grass seeds in like popping up in your garden. But I mean, you can easily just pick those out. That isn't a full deterrent. I had it about 2 years ago and I lived in a super windy climate, so it blew away quite frequently, and that was kind of a little bit annoying for me. But overall, like, I think the fact that it was so pretty and it did such a good job at retaining the moisture, I was willing to take that. It's also extremely affordable and easy to find. Whatever type of mulch you pick, just make sure you pick something that is as sustainable as possible and works well in your climate. That's going to be the best advice that I can give you, but the summer is coming. It is on its way. And if you're in a zone like mine, California Zone 9B, you know that our spring is basically almost over already and it just started. So you need to be preparing your soil and your garden for the heat that is soon to come. And I am preparing mine now. I already ripped out some of my spring flowers and winter spring veggies, and I'm prepping already for my summer crops. I want to give them a really, really good head start. So I've already started to mulch, which also means I am watering less frequently because it's not super hot, but I am acclimating some of my vegetables and my beds to having the mulch on top. So like my greens you see here are fully thriving. Everything in my crates, my kale, my lettuce, my beans and onions are all pretty much fully thriving in these crates. I highly recommend them. It is free. My containers are absolutely free. So I have insulated them with cardboard, and that is keeping all the moisture locked inside, and it also breaks down so it becomes additional soil for my microbes and things like that to feed on over time, and everything just seems to be fully thriving. I'm very proud that my garden beds are basically free, and I'm recycling things, which is also good for the environment. So if you want to try out different milk crates, I highly suggest it, but just make sure you're insulating them and make sure you mulch on top. These two have not been mulched on top because, as you can see, that one I just pointed to needs cardboard behind it, and I'm pulling out this tomato. If you guys watch my shorts, then you already know that this tomato had a curled leaf on it that was horrible, so I'm gonna rip it out and let the soil sit for a while. I'm gonna mulch the top and maybe put a cover crop on top of that, but leave it alone for now. Everything else looks great. They are all fully insulated, and I'm gonna finish mulching them today. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like, a subscribe. Let me know what you thought, what kind of mulch you will be using for your garden this summer, and let's have a conversation down in the comments. Until next time, my friends. Check you later.